Hi guys, and welcome to Let's Talk Automotive and our review of the Mitsubishi Xpander. And as you can see, Peter's not here, or this is the younger version. No, this is Fritz.
The much younger version. Welcome guys, and thanks for having us.
Fritz, thanks for joining us. Peter is working for a change. So I thought you had the most experience with the car this week. I thought who better to give an opinion. So let's start with the exterior and just do a little walk around and give me your first impressions.
So my first impression, seeing this car, it's a new car, it's shiny. I think this is a pearl white or something color.
It is pearl.
It was beautiful. My wife drives a similar car, just shorter. So my first impressions were, that's nice, it looks proper, and I didn't know this was an entry-level vehicle and the soccer mom's car. So first impressions were great, and I also had a great driving experience.
Awesome. Let's have a look at the front here quickly, Fritzy, because this is undoubtedly Mitsubishi. They have carried through this design on most of the vehicles, and I think it's an important time to say that this is the first time that Mitsubishi has come to play in this segment, competing with Honda, BRV, Toyota, Avanza. So interesting that they've come in at this angle. And yeah, there's probably a bit of a market gap here. So.
And we spoke about it earlier. I wasn't sure where to place this. Is this an entry-level SUV, or is it just a passenger car, or is it just a sedan? But it still has a space at the back of a station wagon. So I'm a bit confused. But in the last week, it grew on me.
Yeah. Okay, I want to have a mention. You said that this was sort of an entry-level vehicle. I would have to agree. If we look at pricing, this car just, the manual transmission comes in at just under 300,000, and the auto that we've got here
just a touch more, 320.
That's right. That's about right. Very competitive in that competitive market. If we look at the Honda BRV, if we look at the Toyota Avanza, the Honda BRV is a bit more expensive, but very competitive. I think we'll have to wait till we get inside and look at a bit of the execution, if I can call it that, to compare apples with apples. But very interestingly, if we look at the front headlights here, daytime running lights, you've got your indicators and headlights at the bottom here, but old school. So that sort of gives me an indication that we're looking a little bit more budget-wise. Let's have a look around the side here quickly. We always mention tire size. This is a 16-inch, a 205/55/16, which is a very popular.
Is it a common one?
It's a very popular, common-size tire. So lots of options. Not going to have a problem there.
And as far as I know, this alloy wheels come standard to this model.
It is standard,
which is quite classy and very nice.
Very large mirrors, which is nice for visibility. Again, safety, like you mentioned. An interesting touch when you lock the car. They also fold up and fold
Which
away.
is something fancy I wouldn't expect on a budgety car. So
Correct.
Points there.
Look and feel from the side, Fritz. From the front, it looks nice and aggressive. Looks like a Mitsubishi. From the side, it looks like a station wagon. It loses a little bit of appeal, but from the back, it's
nice again. Yes. But I must say, the ground clearance has a lot of in our country without road conditions and stuff. It does appeal to me that it's not a low car. It's slightly higher, but it's not an SUV.
Yeah.
So and the look grows on you.
Yeah. Okay, Fritz. Let's have a look at the back here. Like we said, 7 seats. So when we open this, boom, no boot. Very, very small little area when the seats are folded up. But when you put these down, that's quite nice. So in normal operating conditions, that's pretty decent.
That's quite a huge boot, and it compares to the boot space of something like, say, a Caddy. With the high roof.
Correct.
So it's beautiful. And when I lifted that the first time, I thought spare wheel's going to be there, but not.
Exactly.
There's some handy compartments there, and the not Mari biscuit is
underneath
on the bottom. So it's.
I think nice. This is quite a clever design by putting the spare wheel underneath and making this into storage, because when this is up, you can obviously pack stuff at the top and at the bottom, which is a very nice design feature. All right, Fritzy, I think let's do the all-important Fani fit.
The Fani middle fit or the Fani back fit?
I'm going to do the back fit quickly because I think that will be quite challenging. But you're quite comfortable. You're quite a tall guy. You're sitting in the middle row.
Front seat is in driver position.
Yeah.
I have reclined the back seat of the middle row a little bit.
Yes.
And nothing's bumping, nothing's bothering me. So that's a pass from me.
I want to show you something cool. 7-seaters are always difficult to get into the back, and we've had some 7-seaters here in the past, and it was a mission to get in and out.
And I've seen some arse in the air with you getting in there.
So look at this cool design, okay? That happens, and then that happens, which is so cool. And now this is a normal sort of entry for me. And I get in, so I'm in, but now the big test will probably be putting this boykie up. So let's do that.
Okay, so headroom, pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knee room, let's see. There we go.
Okay, so Fritzy, it's tight. If I really have to, I'll be able to.
200 kilometers?
Never. Please understand, and this irritates me, this is not for adults at the back.
Yes.
It's for kids, and it will work perfectly. Something interesting, nice cup holders at the back here. You've got seat belts at the back here. You've got a power socket at the back. So they've thought about everything. We've even got air vents for the passengers at the back. So they've thought about the small things. Again, like I said, practical. This is a practical family vehicle.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Okay, Fritz, so we are now on the business end of this Mitsubishi Xpander. Very, very apt name, by the way.
Xpander, is that a reference to size, maybe?
Yeah, I think that little extra row of seats. Very interesting that the vents are also coming to the front from the back. That's a nice touch, keeping the back of your head cool. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's got Bluetooth connectivity with your phone. You can do your on steering wheel control, hands-free, controls you on the steering wheel. Does what it's supposed to do.
So this is the automatic version in 4 gears, and I would like to know what it feels like on the road. I felt it. Can I show you?
Yeah, let's go for a drive.
Let's go.
Okay, Fritzy, so you said you're going to take me for a drive. So let's talk about a couple of things. This is what I want to get out of our chat inside the car. I want to talk about comfort. I want to talk about engine performance. I want to talk about, everything that we
the experience.
See. The experience more than anything else. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna maybe then try to experience it as a mom that has to do everyday driving with passengers, or because I don't think a business guy will buy this to take his friends to the sea or something.
Sure.
So let's start with a drive. Nothing fancy, nothing difficult. Everything's where it's supposed to be. So I'm enjoying it so far.
Okay, so nice and smooth on the steering. Our suspension's actually very nice. There's a couple of bumps in this road that we're traveling along. So suspension's impressive. Steering wheel's nice and light, you said. So
it's light, but not too light. Some smaller cars, the power steering is too aggressive, and it feels like you can roll this car easily. I feel in control. It's quite nice. I did some cornering, and it's actually quite sturdy. I've got the feeling that I'm driving a bigger car than what this is supposed to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Seats, very comfortable. When we were in the back, the seats are very comfortable. It's nicely upholstered.
There's nothing negative about this. I think if I could ask for anything ergonomically, I would have an elbow rest here.
Yeah.
It feels a bit empty, but a previous car that we drove had a very high center console that was actually quite weird and made you feel quite boxed in. But this is nice and spacious and good for now.
But something that's very obviously missing from this car is standard execution USB ports in the front, at the back, everywhere.
So I did notice ample power sockets in the front, in the center, sort of center glove box, and all the way at the back. So if you have adapters and stuff, all the kids can charge their iPads. But yes, there's maybe a touch missing. Can we transition towards the power? Because this is a 1500 normally aspirated petrol engine with a 4-speed automatic gearbox.
How weird. Isn't that weird to have a 4-speed gearbox? Sounds like we're going back to the 40s and 50s.
But as far as I remember, the automatics always had one less gear. So the manual's got 5, this one has 4. And I've read a bit about the overdrive and how this gearbox works. And the tagline says this 1500 engine will supply enough energy to pull 7 adults up a mountain pass. And the performance on this engine isn't mind-blowing, but it's nothing short of functional and useful. So I think it's a good combo. Fuel efficiency, safety, luxury, but this is not a sports car.
No, definitely not. But are you happy? Is there anything that you can say that really is a drawback, a negative, something that you feel, no, I cannot deal with this? It has to have X, Y, and Z. For example, doesn't have cruise control.
Do you need cruise control when you drive to school and back?
No.
So again, higher level vehicles would require more functionality and add-ons, but this is aimed at a specific market, and I think it hits it well. Remember the things: brand reliability, backup, safety, ISO points everywhere for car seats and things, so you can easily put 2 kids in car seats and have more kids in here. So it ticks all the right boxes, and I think with Mitsubishi's brand reliability, this car is growing on me. I think it's growing more on me than on you.
Yeah, but I think we sort of just in 2 different places when it comes to this. Like,
and that's the beauty of different models, different specs. With this automatic top of the range model coming in at just over 300,000, that's good value for money. And to find a 7-seater, a true 7-seater in the same price class is gonna be difficult. So that's where I'm gonna stand behind this car a little bit more.
Let's head back to the studio and then we give our ratings and see if we'd buy this or not. So Fritzy, I think it did everything that it was supposed to do, so I'm pretty happy.
You don't have hair, but did I blow your hair back?
Thanks for that. Yes. I don't think this would add to my hair loss. But yeah, I think, like we said over and over again, practical car, does what it's supposed to do, does what it's designed to do. If you're in the market for something like this, definitely something that you can look at.
Now, I know I'm not your regular, but do I also get a chance to rate this?
Absolutely, let's do it. We have to give it a rating, and you have to say if you'd buy it, yes or no.
Okay. So this is not the typical car that I know. I didn't grow up with it. It was fresh to me. It's basic. The fact that my wife likes it and my kids liked it, and that she actually wants to change a crossover for this, is a good indication. So in this market segment, out of my humble opinion, I would give it a square 9 out of 10. It does what it has to. It's decently priced. It doesn't blow you away with the power, but still it executes, and it's the soccer mom car, and that's what I guess it's for.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a yes. And
Will I buy it?
A yes and a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, I'll buy it for my wife. Yourself?
Okay, so I'm going to give it 8 out of 10, just because I know that other models has a bit of a better higher execution. You don't get a higher execution model in this. So a good solid 8 out of 10. It's definitely something that you could look at. I wouldn't buy one. Unfortunately, it's just not something that appeals to me or fits into my needs for a vehicle. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it does everything that it's supposed to do. Practical. If you're in the market for this, it's on your short list.
It suits me. I'll take it. Thank you.
That's it for our review on the Mitsubishi Xpander, and we'll see you guys again next time. Cheers.